Lowe, Tim Howard, Robbie Earl, Robbie Mustoe. Wow, lots of goals in that window, Tim. Graham Potter, where does this leave him?
It leaves him bang in trouble, and you know, the protests don't help, the shots of the owner don't help. We talked about it before. Earlster did, as did Alan Shearer. It's set pieces. He showed us. You just go mark your man, and if you can't do that, the basics and the manager and all those things, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're leaky at the back. They don't feel like there's a lot of fight in this team. Thought there was. Doesn't seem to be. There's a problem at West Ham.
A few weeks ago, Karen Brady, the vice chair, went on the radio in England and said, we don't panic. We don't like to fire our managers. But do you get the sense they might have to?
I do. There was talk amongst a lot of journalists this week. Nuno's available, Gary O'Neill's available, Sean Dyche is available. People are talking tonight. If he didn't win today, it could be his job. And West Ham will look at Crystal Palace and see Oliver Glasner has gone into a football club, restyled the football, won a domestic cup and playing in Europe. And that's where they'll feel they should be, and that's why they might make a change.
Robbie, I know you always want to give a manager time. If you were Karen Brady and David Sullivan right now, would you still give him more time?
A few more weeks. A few more weeks for me, and I know it's horrible. I know there's other managers mentioned. Gary O'Neill, by the way, reports that they've already spoken to Gary O'Neill about this position. So maybe he's going to get that time, but I always think it's still early in the season. He's still settling in new ideas from pre-season, new players. A few more weeks for me.
Can't afford a gap though, Rob, can you? If you know some of the promoted teams are doing okay, you can't allow a gap to, and then all of a sudden be playing catch-up.
There's 30-plus games left, but that's always me, Rebecca. I always want to be really sure if I'm going to fire a manager or bring somebody else in, that he is not the right guy.
Let's talk about a manager at Wolverhampton Wanderers who just signed a new 3-year contract. Today, Wolves have lost by 3-1 at home. They're bottom of the league, played 5, lost 5. Tim, Vitor Pereira just signed a contract a couple of days ago. Is that weird timing, or are you all for this show of support?
In this case, I'm for the show of support because we do know he's a good manager. They're off to a horrible start. They had to sell a lot of their players. They haven't bought particularly well, so I don't think this is on the manager. We've seen the best of him, and we know he's very good. So I'm glad they've backed him. Hopefully, on balance, look, they didn't buy well. Hopefully, on balance, they can get themselves out of this rut. But it's going to be a tough season for Wolves.
Because they had to sell as well, didn't they, Wolves? They haven't had a lot of money to spend.
No, they didn't, and didn't do particularly well in the window. But I have to say, Bex, if I'm a promoted team and I see Wolves and I see West Ham in the form they're in, I'm thinking, you know what, this year we might have a chance of staying in the Premier League.
That's a good shout. It's not just Wolves and West Ham in that bottom 3. Aston Villa as well. They take on Sunderland tomorrow.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long, and for even more Premier League content from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.